to justify Steven's reaction to me, right? Which is encouraging people to dox me and whatnot, and saying that I'm part of some like cabal that's out to get him and pressuring people not to work with him or whatever the fuck. Which it's all total bullshit. But they seem to have some kind of evidence that this was true. I've spoken to a handful of DGGers, like just in random voice channels on Discord, where I usually hang out, and nobody's ever been able to present anything to that effect. So I was hoping there was some
I healed
Destiny
the wrong
Simpson
unit.
chat.
Fuck me, dude.
They would have some evidence that we could look at, that I could respond to, that that would justify the behavior.
Sure. Let me sorry chat, I'm going to skip your stuff, but let's be real, you guys are bullying me about Bonnie Blue anyways. And then Severin, I'm seeing your chats, although I don't know if you want me to see a specific thing. So, hold on. Let me read let me just cover the super chats real quick, and then I'm going to scroll to the bottom. That way I can see if anybody actually has any substantive criticism.
Yeah,
so
I feel like they, probably forgot why they're supposed to hate me at this point.
At this point, probably.
Dooby's main claim to relevancy was running a politics server that was just a Nazi hug box. Surprised nobody calls him out on that anymore. Is it really a Nazi hug box? Is it actually, unironically? Like, actually? No way, right? I mean, that sounds insane. Like, if your Discord server is like one of the largest Nazi like hubs on the internet, like, shouldn't that warrant like some degree of like, I don't know, like warning or badness? I don't fucking know.
Especially
Jesus.
with like the Charlie Kirk assassination. As far as I know, you're relatively old news. But Asay Garcia for 20 says Mexico used to do something similar before the court would give legal authority to a family member and then send them to an annex to get sober. It worked great. Too bad we can't do this anymore legally. Literally though, based Asay Garcia. Andrew Giaconopoulos for 5 says seriously, Adam is the biggest charisma black hole of mildly successful content creators. How does anyone take this millennial Scott Adams seriously? That's mean. Read me 45 says tell Dooby to put on the frog sona. I miss it. Okay, based. So now we're gonna scroll down, and I'm gonna do a little bit of a catch up as well. Okay, so chat,
nothing wrong with being mean. Okay,
some of y'all got mad at me because you were accusing Destiny, or you were accusing Dooby of being a piece of shit, and I was or am one of the last 3 Destiny orbiters, friends, sweepers, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And Destiny has made this argument to me, which I don't find compelling. I just re-articulate it, that he's saying that he's getting doxxed, he's getting swatted, and he's been doxxed and swatted for the past year or two. And
is he including you? Hopefully not, honestly.
Queeman and JStock's communities are filled with A-loggers who like to go to Kiwi farms. Therefore, he is trying to dox people in that community and dox people in dox JStock, dox Queeman, because he believes that they deserve it, because they are knowingly participating in his digital harassment. However, when I asked for evidence that Dooby was doing something similar, the only thing that people brought up was Discord logs where he was in JStock and Queeman's communities talking shit about Steven. So what we're looking for is any kind of evidence, substantive evidence, that Dooby participated in A-logging or harassment any greater than some kind of tepid online criticism.
So I think you're misunderstanding.
I mean, there isn't, right? Like, Dooby does not dox. Dooby does not do A-logging, I think. But the thing is that it's very clear to me that Dooby still participates in some anti-fan mannerisms, right? Like I don't know, claiming like doing the weird zip like hatred thing is a little bit weird at the very least, right? I don't know why you claim that zip was like fucking jacking off to like fucking Pixie Car's window. That was pretty weird. Dooby also talks about Destiny's personal life, I think, as well. Argues in Wick TV's server all the time about like, by the way, one of his orbiters, just FYI, okay? But yeah. Right. Yeah.
So Steven did post some like screenshot logs on Twitter. Like some Imgur links. Those aren't from JSOC or Queeman's Discord server. So those are one's from Wix and the other's from Pisco's.
And so that's even less. That's even less.
I had no interaction at all ever with JSOC before Destiny made these like accusations against me, right? Of like working with him to like pressure people not to have Steven on or whatever. And Queen, the last time I spoke to Queen before all this was like a year and a half or 2 years ago.
By contact, is it contact, or is it like fucking thing? To be fair, okay, like I'm gonna say this for pure clarification purposes. I don't think it's justified to dox Dooby, period. Okay, I don't think it's justified to dox Dooby. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Dooby doesn't really have that much of a platform. It's not like he's like pinging everybody in the Discord, in the politics Discord, about like Destiny's like weird fucking like shit, right? I think he's just gossiping about it. I think it's weird that he's gossiping about it in Destiny Orbiter gen chats. However, I will say, like, again, I just don't think it's justified to dox Dooby. Yeah, Dooby got doxed? No. He didn't get doxxed. But Destiny said that he would dox him if he had the chance to. As in like he would do it in a heartbeat or something. But like I just haven't really seen anything that Dooby has done, I guess. That warrants like doxing of any kind. I don't fucking know. It's just, yeah.
And it was like a massive argument that he and I had that led to me kind of disconnecting from Chud's community because you know, there was a guy who had his like personal information linked to his Discord account. And I'm sorry, his Twitch account. And he apparently wasn't aware of this. And this guy, somebody in Chud's server found out and was basically just.
I mean, okay, if I'm wrong, let me know, okay? Because I don't know the whole Dooby lore, okay? I really do not know the whole Dooby lore. I don't know if he's did anything more than that, I guess. It could be the case that he's done something more than that. I just do not know. So yeah, let me know if yeah, I mean the zip stuff is pretty indicative of being generally deranged and KF adjacent. Yeah, but like if you're like deranged and like shit adjacent, like I think the zip thing is the biggest one. But zip is not Destiny, right? Like zip isn't Destiny. Like and his weird fucking allegations could just be a result of his like ongoing schizophrenia. I don't know. He doesn't actually have schizophrenia, okay? But like yeah, I think it's more like something to laugh at Dooby for, but not something to actually do substantial harm towards Dooby. I don't think Dooby is like saying any. I don't fucking know. I don't know what's Dooby's problem. I'm gonna be honest, okay?
Blocking him with his information. The guy was not okay with it. They kept doing it anyway. Queenman was defending this.
Inform yourself, Foodshop. I'm not your janitor, Lamau. Dude, I don't know jack shit about Dooby. I'm sorry, okay? Yeah, like the thing is that yeah, I'm not talking about you specifically. Fuck you.
The guy was an idiot. He made it public, so it's on him.
Dooby was in every streamer super chats that had any association with Destiny. I think there were some super chats in regards to Pisco, but I don't remember what the super chat specifically said. Yeah.
So I didn't like that. And I had a massive argument and I pulled out of Chud's community. It was like 2 years ago.
Was that a creator?
It was Elder Drazi.
Yep. I remember that one.
Yeah,
and then just summarizing that. Sorry if I'm just repeating what you said. But Elder Drazi had social media connected to his Twitch and YouTube personality or persona that had his personal name on it. And so, yeah, like people within that community were like, well, this isn't doxing because it's all public. And even if it is doxing, he's such an idiot that he deserves it.
By the way, that's not the definition of doxing, okay? Just, by the way, Elder Drazi is 100% a victim of Spicy Chat, okay? Because the thing is that doxing is not just the behavior of, like, unveiling, like, personal or private information. It is the process in which personal information is being disclosed in a way that harms other people maliciously on purpose, right? So the thing is that something can be public, but a little bit more private than their like front-facing presenting kind of thing, right? However, that information can be spread around to harm somebody or to make fun of somebody or to whatever. That is still doxing, okay? So let's just say even if your personal information is linked to your online presence, and if you dig deep enough, you're gonna find it. Well, that's the thing, right? That's the process of like that's what leads up to doxing, right? So when you then spread around Elder Drazi's like first and last name, like Spicy Chat did, sorry, not last name, sorry, the first name, I believe. Even if it's the first name, the malice that is behind the action itself, by the way, it is malicious. It is considered malicious if you're trying to make fun of somebody, right? It is, right? Because that's part of it, right? Like a lot of doxing is to make fun of someone, right? So like if that is your goal and you want to go head out and accomplish that, right? Yeah, that's still doxing because the purpose of it is malice, right? The purpose of it is malicious. But yeah.
And yeah, that was, I don't know, a year ago, year and a half ago.
Yeah. So that was the last interaction I had with Queeman before all this stuff. Now since then, I have I think I've exchanged like 1 or 2 Discord messages with Queeman. Actually I was trying to get him onto a Prime panel, where I was trying to have like that's these GGers and the snarkers, quote unquote, like interact with each other and confront each other. But he didn't want to go on. So and then I've spoken to Jay Stock on the stream like twice, I think.
Yep.
But that's it, right? And again, this is post Steven encouraging people to dox me. Um, so yeah, I think it's silly. But
Well,
again,
and I mean, I have 160 people approximately in my chat right now, and I haven't seen anything else
204 here. Hi.
except for what you've stated.
Probably 250 in total.
And so I don't see anybody saying, "Oh,
If Steven is streaming, it's probably 100.
oh yeah, I have Dooby's alt on Kiwi Farms. Oh, Dooby docs this person. Oh, Dooby docs that person. Oh, Dooby has done this harassment campaign." I'm not. Nobody said anything like that yet.
okay,
And they're not presenting evidence. So out of the 160 people who are in my chat, it doesn't seem like we're getting much of a response as far as something substantial that warrants you getting doxxed.
yeah, and I mean, at the time, again, this is like a month old, but at the time there were people in chat saying that I was going to be doxxed, that they were coming after me, whatever the fuck. So what I'm curious about, right, is like, how does this person like? So given that now, I mean, I know that I can say there's nothing to justify this reaction.
Any good slop tonight? Yeah. Apparently Dooby is having a debate right now with counter. Not a debate. This is a discussion to me. They're having a discussion right now about Destiny calling for doxing Dooby. But yeah.
And if they've never seen anything to justify the reaction, how do they square that with their loyalty to Steven? Is what I'm wondering, or thinking about Steven as an honest person that they should listen to, right?
Well,
and I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people in chat, right, who defend him constantly, say that he's honest and yada yada. If this is just a big lie, right, and he's encouraging people to dox me over a lie, like that seems pretty fucked.
Well, so this is gonna be just a little bit difficult for me because we're in a private call. But if I
I'm a
see
bot.
something,
Sure you are.
okay, Beef Supreme, you said because you're a liar, Dooby. What has Dooby lied about? So that's something that should probably be substantiated. But
I think
if I was to articulate, excuse me, my sympathy to Steven, and I'm sure some people feel the same way that I do, is that Steven has been a giant in the space for a decade, right? 2016 is when he switched over to politics. And he did do things that, while self-serving, like he milked plenty of smaller creators to have crash outs. He was mean, he was abrasive, he was rude, and all that kind of stuff. The other thing that he did, though, was he gave almost everybody a shot.
I don't even think I don't even think that's particularly wrong. Like if you're a content creator that specializes in drama, drama farming is like part of it, right? Like trying to get an interview with a locale, like I would imagine that is as much of a part of it as anything else, right? I don't know. Did he call for someone to dox him, or did he say that he could in a heartbeat with zero remorse? Legit question. He didn't call for anyone to dox him. He basically said that he would dox Dooby in a heartbeat with zero remorse. I don't think he is calling for his audience to dox him. But the thing is that like it's kind of like, will anybody rid me of this worrisome priest, right? If you say that you want to dox him without any kind of remorse, the audience receiving that would be like, okay, well, orders understood, Steven, right? So the thing is it might as well be one and the same at this point. I don't care.
So anybody who wanted to call in the stream, anybody who wanted to debate, anybody who wanted to do this, anybody who wanted to do that, and we've seen repeated people make.
Do you think of Destiny as a drama streamer? Not anymore. No. I think in the past, absolutely for sure. I think during the Mr. Girl Lab Loon shit, yes, absolutely for sure. But no, not anymore. No. I think he's like singularly focused on politics now, and honestly, he should stay that way. Yeah, I don't think he should focus on anything other than politics. Yeah.
careers off of being Destiny orbiters. And we've also seen people who otherwise would have taken substantially longer in order to get far, get a boost just from a few interactions. And so that's almost like a public service in my book. And so Steven is a flawed individual who's done fucked up shit. And I think I've talked about what he's done fucked up earnestly. But I also don't feel like throwing the baby out with the bathwater, where if Steven is schizophrenic about one topic, or he freaks out about one topic, or if he's wrong about a topic, I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Well,
and I'm sure plenty of his chat feels the same way.
Okay, so again, I understand everything. Like what you just said is one of the reasons that I liked him for almost 10 years, right? And we had a pretty good networking relationship, right? We're never friends, but we would do a lot of networking. When I'd have people on for AMAs, I'd invite them to come on and confront them, like I did with Roger Stone, or like the fucking ambush that we did on Coach Red Pill. Like we see this kind of shit all the time. I've helped him with like random little dramas. And one of the big things I liked about him is that he would interact with smaller people and kind of lift them up, right? So I think that was great. So I'm not asking you why you haven't because I think you know that he's dishonest sometimes, right? What I'm curious about
either
is
that or self-delusion.
Wait, dishonest about what? I don't think, if you mean dishonest as in like he is following his lawyer's orders, like I feel like that's warranted dishonesty, right? Or like like I'm not referring to any specific example here. I'm not talking about any specific situation or whatever the fuck, just to be clear, okay? But I'm just saying, like, if he's following his lawyer's orders, like what exactly is like like he's following their orders, right? I'm pretty sure like he would just instead like straight up like not really talk about something if his lawyers told him to not talk about it. I don't fucking know, right? But I don't think there's any big lie that Destiny has told. Sometimes what he would do is that he would say like what he would do is that he would be like he would do something and then say he didn't do it, right? I mean, but it's not like something that is like mind shattering or anything like that. Generally he seems to be a relatively honest person, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, yes, on one hand, if someone with a platform doesn't discuss, like the thing is that if my lawyer told me to lie, I would also lie, right? If my lawyer told me that, it's like a very justified, it's like the most understandable reason, right? It's like it's the most understandable reason to lie if your lawyer tells you to lie, right? Yeah, in my opinion, but yeah.
To some degree.
No. I think he's just straight.
And I don't even think they paint it as a lie. I think it's more like, oh, we want to maximize the best outcome for your case, because it is like a lawyer's moral right to do so, right? A lawyer is supposed to give you the best possible legal advice that they could in that scenario, given the situation. A lawyer is supposed to like do the best, the most utmost for you in that situation, right? So like I don't even know if that's necessarily like a problem. I don't know. Could be reckless statement from Destiny, but he probably doesn't give charitability to like these social hyperfixated snakes. Yeah, sure, exactly. I think like I think it's okay to lie in front of other people who won't even interpret your truthful words in the best context, right? If they're gonna interpret everything in like the worst context possible, why the fuck wouldn't you lie, right? Like, does that make sense? Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Dishonest about
lying. So you're saying he knows the truth is one thing, sure, and he's saying the opposite for effect.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, since somebody accused you of lying, but they haven't really come up with an example, do you have a specific thing that sticks out in your mind where you feel like Steven was knowingly being dishonest for effect?
With me. That's the most obvious one. I think him pretending that I'm some like crazy Antifan who is working with Kiwi Farms and J-Stalk and Queeman, and also pressuring people behind the scenes to not to work with him or whatever. Like all of that is just total nonsense, right? And I've spoken to Wick about this. I've spoken to Kyla about this. I've spoken to Pisco about this. I've spoken to you, but I don't think anybody would say that I've ever pressured anybody not to work with him. And what I've done is like criticize him. I've been curious about people's like for example, for Wick, I was curious as to actually no, I wasn't even asking Wick like why he was having him on. It was other people in Wick's community were asking Wick why he was having Destiny on, given that Destiny had publicly doxed multiple people at that point, I was encouraging people to dox me. And Wick, uh, there's a really funny post where it's like, oh yeah, because Wick has a no doxing rule in this community, right? And the question was, hey, why do you have this guy on if he's a doxer, and you have a no doxing rule, and no doxing is very important to you or whatever. And it got to the point where Wick said something like, oh yeah, well, I think I'm not being consistent. You're right. So maybe we need to like rethink the no doxing rule. Like there's something to that.
Well, I mean, or you can just be honest, like, to be honest, right? Like, if the person's clout is so high, to the point where, like, maybe it's just not like who cares? Like, who cares about whether or not a person doxes or not if they have high enough clout, right? Like, let's just be honest about it, right? Like, the thing is that, let's just say you had the opportunity to interview libs of TikTok, right? Libs of TikTok. If you had the opportunity to interview libs of TikTok, who is like a known doxer, why wouldn't you? Why the fuck wouldn't you do that? Why the fuck wouldn't you have them in your server, right? Like, why the fuck wouldn't you like interview them, right? Like, let's just be totally honest here, okay? Libs of TikTok, also doxer, all right. But if you had the opportunity to be able to interview libs of TikTok, right? Why the fuck would you not? This person is famous, right? And it's gonna give you a lot of attention, especially if you push back against them, right? But yeah.
To that effect. Just a little bit fucking
To be honest, you can just be honest. Shut the fuck up. Jesus.
silly.
I'm kidding.
Right?
Joking. You're fine.
Because
Okay.
Wick's entire thing was, oh, I have these strong principles that I'm sticking to. And one of those principles is this thing, but I need to adjust the principle to account for this so that I can have him on and still be principled. So I thought that was pretty dishonest. I think Wick should just own that he wants him on for the cloud or whatever, which is fine.
Well,
I'm not
can
bashing him.
I bring up my perception though, which might not back all of
Sure.
Steven's claims, but effectively it's something that I feel like people might be using against you,
Love
and
you.
it's
I hate
something that
you.
I can think of where honesty might not have been your first priority, I suppose. And the one that was
The
kind of
devil's
shocking to
advocate thing.
me. Sorry, what's that?
The devil's advocate thing.
Not
think
just the
that's
devil's
what
advocate
we're
thing.
referring
I don't care about the devil's advocate thing. I figured, dude, as soon as we had that entire fascist discourse where you were like a centrist fascist, where you loved gay people, but you wanted to
What?
kill your enemies, I was like,
Huh?
okay, Dooby, like, even if Dooby believes this stuff,
Wait, what?
it's at
When was
least
that?
partially a character, because the politics are so extreme and so kind of esoteric
What?
that Dooby is not going to be able to accumulate enough people to believe in his esoteric beliefs that he's ever going to be able to implement them. So I kind of started looking at you more as like a
Force of
fun
nature.
debate sparring partner than a serious ideological advocate. And that's kind of how I treated you since that conversation.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think so I thought most people were I mean, at least the panel hosts were aware of this, right? So early days, when you came around, it wasn't really the early days anymore, it was somewhere in the middle. But back then, what I would do is I was basically using the Twitch channels, Twitch streams, debates to advertise my server, right? But that was the purpose. So one of the ways to do that is you get eyes on the screen, get people to stick there, get them angry, get them
No.
worked up. So it brings viewers to the stream
Run.
for not just viewers, but viewers who are interacting with the stream to the stream for the content creator. And at the end of it, I can show my Discord server, and a lot of these people will be so angry they'll come on and right?
Fuck me.
So
Don't
what I would
fuck
do
me.
is I
That's
would
weird.
ask panel hosts
Ugh.
right, before streams, or sometimes they'd reach out to me, and they'd ask me if I could defend this thing for him, right? Like for, and I did this like for Fnatic, for example. He had on Gotenks and some other crazy woman, and they were talking about COVID, right? And Destiny, and they were like anti-vaccine. They thought that COVID was like fake. Like Gotenks thought that like we shouldn't even ban drunk driving. He's a fucking crazy person. And Destiny was obviously very pro-vaccine, very pro all the like very against what they were saying. And Fnatic needed someone to be the bridge in the middle. And even though I massively agreed with Destiny, I came on and I played the centrist and the translator for these two retards, right? Or I'm sorry, R slurs. And I would do that all the time. Like I would do this for Wick, Prime, whatever the like whatever
you're like a heel
position is. I'd come on and argue that position, right, as best as I could. And because I've been on Discord for a long
I can't think about Dooby without thinking about some dumb rumor I heard involving him. Well, I mean, this is pretty much 90% a fact, okay? He 100% has a thing for Pixie, okay? Otherwise, why the fuck would he say that about Zip Zip? He 100% has a thing for Pixie. Okay, I'm not even gonna pretend. Okay, Dooby probably wants to be the one that comes on Pixie's windshield. Okay, and he has a fetish for sexually harassing Pixie, like fucking sitting behind her in fucking court. Okay, so like the thing is yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think that's all projection. I genuinely do think so, because there's no way you think of that. Like, there's absolutely no way you think of like that crazy jokesy shit without without having some degree of like sexual like fucking projection onto it, you know? But yeah, hey,
Long time.
what can I
I've
say?
spoken to God knows how many people. And something I love to do is just try to understand different ideologies, different perspectives.
Is he
I
crying?
would I'm pretty good at like steel manning most positions, right? And something I would do early on in my server is just one day I was a Muslim, the next day I'm a Catholic, the next day I'm an anarchist, the next day I'm a fucking tanky communist. Like I would do this all the time. So I've got a lot of practice on it.
Oh, I have no, I understand the origin story, and I'm happy that you're explaining it to the audience. And I feel like
Cringe.
the frog, as Jordan Peterson would point out, is a creature of chaos. It is both a land animal and an animal of the water. And it's funny. Don't you have wings sometimes too?
What?
Yeah, well, so what happened is I used to have like a little eye ring, like an eyebrow ring, and then a
Uh,
like bat wings.
no.
Why the fuck is his avatar so weird? Like, this seriously does not help like my perception of this guy. Um I mean, he just looks like some fucking weird frog person. Like, I just don't like. He just looks so gross and icky and slimy. Ugh, gross.
But I broke it at some point somehow, and I was too lazy to fix it, honestly. But I'll
Okay,
get around to it.
but I want to bring up two things, and it wasn't necessarily being the heel or steel manning random positions, nor to make
Apparently, I'm being told that at some point, I'm being told at some point Dooby actually does bring me up. Not Dooby brings me up, but at some point I was in the conversation itself. Oh, I'm afraid it's inevitable. Okay, especially when it comes to Connor. But hey, you know. Wait, hold on. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. Be right back. Meow.
kind of started looking at you more as like a fun debate sparring partner than a serious ideological advocate. And that's kind of how I treated you since that conversation.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think so I thought most people were I mean, at least the panel hosts were aware of this, right? So early days, when I think when you came around, it wasn't really the early days anymore, somewhere in the middle. But back then, what I would do is I was basically using the Twitch channels, Twitch streams, debates to advertise my server, right? But that was the purpose. So one of the ways to do that is you get eyes on the screen, get people to stick there, get them angry, get them worked up. So it brings viewers to the stream for not just viewers, but viewers who are interacting with the stream to the stream for the content creator. And at the end of it, I can show my Discord server, and a lot of these people will be so angry they'll come on and want to yell at me, right? So what I would do is I would ask panel hosts like before streams, or sometimes they'd reach out to me, and they'd ask me if I could defend this thing for him, right? Like uh and I did this like for Fnatic, for example. He had on Gotenks and some other crazy woman, and they were talking about COVID, right? And Destiny, and they were like anti-vaccine. They thought that COVID was like fake. Like Gotenks thought that like we shouldn't even ban drunk driving. He's a fucking crazy person. And Destiny was obviously very pro-vaccine, very pro all the like very against what they were saying. And Fnatic needed someone to be the bridge in the middle. And even though I massively agreed with Destiny, I came on and I played the centrist and the translator for these two retards, right? Or I'm sorry, R slurs. Uh, and I would do that all the time. Like I would do this for Wick, Prime, whatever the
Yeah.
like whatever
You're
the
like
furthest
a
away
heel.
position is, I'd come on and argue that position, right, as best as I could. And because I've been on Discord for a long time, I've spoken to God knows how many people. And something I love to do is just try to understand different ideologies, different perspectives. I was pretty good at like steel manning most positions, right? And something I would do early on in my server is just one day I was a Muslim, the next day I'm a Catholic, the next day I'm an anarchist, the next day I'm a fucking tanky communist. Like I would do this all the time. So I've got a lot of practice on it.
Oh, I have No. I understand the origin story, and I'm happy that you're explaining it to the audience. And I feel like the frog, as Jordan Peterson would point out, is a creature of chaos. It is both a land animal and a animal of the water. And it's funny. Don't you have wings sometimes too?
Yeah, well, so what happened is I used to have like a little eye ring, like an eyebrow ring, and then a
Uh,
like bat wings.
nice.
But I broke it at some point somehow, and I was too lazy to fix it, honestly. But I'll
Okay,
get around to it.
but I want to bring up two things, and it wasn't necessarily being the heel or
All right. What are you talking about?
Yes, next time a fucking tanky
He's literally admitting to be a career bad faith dumbass, and there's no way he stopped at Israel Palestine. What do you mean by that?
communist. Like I would do this all the time.
Also, listen, my streams are extremely resistible. Okay, just go and play. I don't know, play Valorant or something. I don't know. There's so many things that you can do. Okay?
So I've got a lot of practice on it.
Oh, I have no. I understand the origin story, and I'm happy that you're explaining it to the audience. And I feel like the frog, as Jordan Peterson would point out, is a creature of chaos. It is
Right.
both a land animal and a animal of the water.
Why, dude, Connor? Jesus.
And it's funny. Don't you?
He's a pro lefty nowadays. I think he's trolling. That's fine, but I just haven't seen any like true evidence for any Dooby rumors. I just haven't. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just haven't ever seen any evidence. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is that like, like to me at the very least, like Dooby's not really even a content creator. Like he's not. I like I mean, are you not allowed to talk about other people's like personal lives? I guess if you're, I don't know, like it's not like Dooby is like. The thing is that if you're a YouTuber and you're posting videos constantly about Destiny's like fucking drama, then yeah, I think that makes you a little bit more of a fair target. But like, I just don't think Dooby. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't have the full picture. Maybe I don't know all the facts. But I just haven't really seen. I just really haven't seen any proof or evidence of Dooby being unhinged towards Destiny, in the sense of like, I don't know, maybe tagging the politics Discord server for I don't know, or for something. I don't fucking know, dude. Okay, but yeah, I don't know anything about Dooby, to be honest. Yeah,
You have wings
cool.
sometimes too.
Don't care.
Yeah, well, so what happened is I used to have like a little eye ring, like an eyebrow ring, and then a like bat wings.
Nice.
But I broke it at some point somehow, and I was too lazy to fix it, honestly.
To be honest, you should ask Destiny directly. I did. Yeah, waiting for a response now, but I think he's asleep. I think he probably ended stream early today. That's not even early. I don't know. Whatever, man. It's not even early. But yeah, I think he's probably just gone to sleep early. Yeah. Fucking fucked up his fucking sleep schedule last night.
But I'll
Okay,
get around to it.
but I want to bring up two things, and it wasn't necessarily being the heel or steel manning random positions in order to make Twitch and YouTube politics more.
Don't worry, I'm a journalist, okay? I'm a journalist and a public defender, okay? I listen, if I have a question, I just ask. It's really as simple as that, isn't it?
Interesting, because that's
wow, it's so easy. Wow, getting other sides of the story. What? Getting other sides of the story? What?
What happened too
No
was like
way.
the fascist thing was contradictory to
What?
something else that you said.
Unheard of.
And I'd also
Oh
been
my
on
God.
Prime and Hippy Dippy panels where the topic was a bad topic. And so everybody kind of agreed on it descriptively. And so as a result, the conversation died. And I think that on a couple of those, particularly in reference to Prime, What I saw you do was, if the conversation died, you would adopt the perspective that was necessary.
Even if he's not doxing, it leads to shit stirring Lamau, just rat behavior. I will say that, like, obviously Destiny shouldn't feel obligated to I don't blame Destiny for not feeling bad if Dooby does get doxed, right? Because the thing is that if he is someone who is talking about your personal life, talking about your son, talking about your family, talking about all of these things in other Discord servers, like, yeah, if Dooby gets doxed, then, like, I don't really give a... Like, for example, right, like, Yun is going around, all right, in my server, okay, instigating on purpose arguments and fights, okay? Yeah, like, if Yun gets doxed, yeah, I'm not gonna give a fuck. Jesus Christ, right? Yeah, of course I'm not gonna give a fuck if Yun gets doxed. Like, this motherfucker leaked DMs and logs to Beckett of Crabs.
In order to spice up the conversation again. So I kind of like, I just accepted your role. And you have to understand, like, different people accept different degrees of responsibility for their persona or who they are. I've been the straight man the entire time that I've been in Twitch and YouTube politics, effectively articulating exactly what I believe when I believe it, because that's easy for me. That's the character that I can play, because that's who I am in real life as well. So I've basically just been saying what I believe. But the truth is that if you just had a bunch of straight men in politics talking about policy, it would not be good content. So, you know, that's where, for me, like, I accepted your role in the space a long time ago. But to point out a couple of moments that I would say, like, might have rubbed me a little bit weird. And therefore, I accepted that people have said that you're kind of like a Varys character from Game of Thrones, like a master of whisperers. What the one that I remember that kind of rubbed me wrong that was public was the Mr. Girl situation. And the reason why was because Mr. Girl went on his crusade where he found out that Steven was still talking to Anne of War, and he was rubbed wrong by the fact that Steven had so many promiscuous relationships, was not being honest about his promiscuous relationships with his partners, and it seemed like Anna
Prime is fucked. Yeah, Giga fucked.
Was somebody who was potentially being abused as a result of the situation. So he decided to launch the investigation. And I think that you confronted him on stream and you said, hey, like, I was pretending to help you at first because I wanted to find out what you were doing. But then realistically, I told Steven because I think you're being a fucking snake. And that to me kind of showed me that you were capable of going along to get along in order to have somebody expose themselves and then betray them later. So you had some degree of cunning and patience.
This is kind of a glaze, isn't it? Like it's kind of like what?
Okay.
What was this kind of shit?
You sort of got the story correct. I just so he reached out to me, and I think he had this idea that we were friends. I think he had this tendency to throw his friendship at people to make them responsible for that friendship. It's sort of a thing that manipulators do, where they make you sort of responsible for their emotions.
I remember that in reference to Chud.
Yeah, they just make you responsible for their emotions by throwing them at you and laying them on you constantly.
Yeah, if you don't,
how so?
If you don't do what I want you to do, then you know you're ruining our friendship.
Yeah. So he would say all the time that we're friends. He wanted to play video games together. We'd hung out a couple times in Discord. Like, I have this small server called like Motel Dooby. It's just like a bunch of random streamers and friends and mods from my server.
I don't know, normal guy.
And I used to hang out there all the time when I was working. And we talked in there a few times, but very little. So I didn't consider us friends at all. But to be clear, I do know a lot of people in this space, and I think he knew that. And he reached out to me one day just randomly and asked me for contact with Denims and Bad Bunny, who I'd had on for AMAs before. And I was going to get him in touch with them, right, through my mods who were closer to them than I was, because I hadn't spoken. I think I'd spoken to Denim once, but I'd spoken to Bad Bunny a handful of times, but I hadn't spoken to them in a while, right? So I had mods who were closer to them that I was. So I was going to do it, but then he started like saying things that kind of implied that he wanted to get in touch with these people to mine them for information on Steven. And because at the time I used to listen to Destiny stream all the time while I was working, like it was kind of my background noise. If I wasn't listening to an audiobook or sitting in Discord, listening to people talk, I would. I heard him say to Steven directly, like, I will never betray you. You can trust me inherently. We can move in together. We're going to be lifelong friends, like all this kind of stuff, right? Just begging Steven to trust him, right? And trust him without question. So him coming to me and laying out that he
Wait, what? Mr. Girl
will never
or
betray you. You can trust me inherently. We can move in together. We're going to be lifelong friends, like all this kind of stuff, right? Just begging Steven to trust him, right? And trust him without question. So him coming to me and laying out that he was backstabbing this guy, that he'd publicly begged to trust him so many times, that I really dislike that. That's disgusting to me.
So Steel Manning Max, though, do you think that he could have, because this is my perception of it, I think that Max might have seen things in Steven.
how's he crying about this still? My guess is that Dooby feels like he's been publicly smeared by Destiny as someone who is like justified to be doxxed, and I think he's been spooked out by it. Like that, I think that's probably why he's acting like this. But yeah, I'm just trying to steal him in here.
That Steven wasn't. And what I mean by that is that Max, in my opinion, wanted to always take the edgiest, craziest, most insightful position. That way,
Yeah.
not only could he be attacked as a villain, but also he would provoke some level of like introspection and insight. And I think he did that in particular through hip hop music.
Sure.
I think he did that in particular with the pedophile discourse. I think he did that in particular with the cuties discourse. And so I feel like, Mr. Girl, in my opinion, is always
I support
looking
you. Don't
for
support
that
me.
insightful, controversial angle on which to get negative attention but force people to think. And I think that he saw the way that Steven conducted himself in reference to debates and believed that he was a comrade in arms fighting for some like higher, more insightful truth. And that since they had been, Steven had been censored by Twitch by getting banned, and Mr. Girl had been censored by YouTube by getting banned or demonetized or whatever the fuck, that they were comrades in arms fighting the lazy sheep-like masses who didn't think about serious topics deeply. And that's what I kind of remember about his initial pledge to Steven for loyalty, is he felt like he had like an artistic comrade in arms.
Oh my god. I would never, okay, in a million years, ever tell Steven anything close to that. What the fuck? I think the closest I've ever told Steven, as in like trying to get his trust or something like that, is like, dude, I just can't imagine like Mr. Girl doing that stupid fucking bullshit. Like wait, hold on, what is this? Like, what did I say? Yeah, I said, yeah, I basically said, yeah, I know we can never be friends, but if you need like someone to tell some problems to, I'm here to listen. But I know that we can never be friends, right? Like that's what I told him. Like I already drew the boundary even before I've said something. So yeah, I think, yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a much healthier way to approach anyone, right? But yeah,
Not autistic. However, what I think that if you're looking at it from a Machiavellian lens, at least, kind of the way that I do, I think that Max ended up resenting his role as a lightning rod on Steven's stream, where he didn't feel like he was like a peer artist or a peer friend who were working together to fight like the lack of insight in the masses. He felt like he was being used as like a lightning rod and a weapon by Steven to deflect from his own to deflect from Steven's controversy. And so in that way, right or wrong, you can see like Mac's duplicitous nature in reference to what you were saying as betrayal. But I think that in Max's mind, he was betrayed first.
Yeah.
that is so retarded and so not what happened. Do you know what happened with Mr. Girl? It's really simple. I'll just put it out in the front, okay? Mr. Girl got banned from Destiny subreddit, and that's what caused the entire thing. There you go. That's the answer. Anything else? Yeah. That's it. Mr. Girl was he was salty. He was salty that he got banned from Destiny subreddit, and that's what caused the entire backstab arc. Okay, um, don't let anybody else like repaint this picture because this is 100% what caused it. Okay.
I think he took the Reddit ban as betrayal, right? And Steven's
Yeah,
which I think is silly. I think
it
this
is silly.
I think
It's very silly.
I mean, don't blame me if your ego got hurt, right? Like Jesus Christ, man. I mean, if your ego gets hurt, I mean, it is what it is, man. You know, your ego got hurt. Okay, fine. All right, man, that's your problem.
You should not wrap up your personal worth as an artist in whether or not you're able to participate in another person's Reddit. That is a crazy thing to fucking crash out about.
Yeah, it was that and the Nick Fuentes streams.
I agree.
Those two things I think are what led him to see Steven as an enemy and want to backstab him. And because I'd seen all those earlier, I mean, and I can understand that, right? I'm not saying you need to be somebody's friend forever if you if you find new information about them. But I think
you should front stab
somebody. Exactly. If you've begged somebody to like to trust you and to be close to you and yada yada, you should have the backbone and the I think the fucking I think it's immoral to do what he was doing, right? So so I didn't want to participate. I tried to give him a few outs early in the conversation to just leave it alone and not come to me with it. But when he kept pushing, he kept like dropping little things as if he was trying to get me to ask him for more information.
Mr. Girl said Destiny essayed him, but he says that everything is in the context of like sexual assault, which ultimately undermines sexual assault as a whole, right? Like the problem with Mr. Girl is that he'll just straight up describe everything as sexual assault, which is incredibly cringe. But yeah, you know, that's just something he does.
So I'm pretty good at reading people.
Boring as well.
And I could tell that he was trying to get me to ask him for the information so that he would so that he'd be able to like dump it on me, right? And then I'd be able to help him. So at that point, I messaged Steven right away, like as I was talking to him the first time.
Mike acting up. Sorry. Okay, is this fixed now? Is it better, or are we good? We Gucci my Moochie.
To let him know, like, hey, this guy's doing this, and then from then on, I was just seeing whatever information I could get about what he was up to.
Do you So I'm understanding your characterization, and I don't think it necessarily I don't think it doesn't align with anything that I've thought. However, have you ever been a member
disavowed
of the Communist Party? And what I mean by that is,
what?
Have you ever participated in gay ops? And what I mean by that is like, I don't have time for this shit. I'm almost 40, and I know that you have a kid and a wife now, so things might be different. But gay ops, in my opinion, is where like people try to do information warfare with such small stakes that they're putting out disinformation to the opposing side when the disinformation that they're putting out to other communities is like it's 250 viewer streamers in some cringe beef. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, he has. Well, what is this? Oh, what is this? 10K views. Holy fuck.
The reason why I said it was bullshit, them saying that like, oh, we were only talking about because this is a wig, blah, blah, blah. The reason why I gave a big shout out to insurance company owner Dooby at the end.
Oh, sorry, that was the fucking... Oh my god, dude, I'm getting fucking fucked by this fucking audio. Okay.
Of Wick's stream is because Dooby, like 2 days earlier, for at least one day, if not multiple days, was literally trying to pressure the fuck out of Wick, saying like, why are you platforming Destiny? Are you a pedophile rapist too? Why are you platforming? Shouldn't you disavow, blah, blah, blah? These guys are the cringiest, most shriveled dick motherfuckers in the universe. You could roll a piece of shit down a hill and these flies would literally chase it like their lives depended on it. These guys are so fucking pathetic. But yeah, they've been talking about me trying to get Wick and Connor counterpoint Points. I know this because my people always send me links when they're all talking like counterpoints. Haven't you disavowed Destiny? Are you? What's wrong? Why are you still talking? I'm like, these guys are all so fucking creepy and clingy and obsessive, following anybody that talks about me. That if they're not like carrying the exact same fucking story, they lose their minds. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
It's funny you're wearing almost the same shit, doing almost the same face with almost the same hair. One day I'll dye my hair again, okay? Jesus Christ. One day, just one day. Okay, if that's true, that's more understandable. Okay. Was he calling him a pedophile? Oh shit. I mean, if that's true, then I mean,
Blah, blah, blah. These guys are the cringiest, most shriveled dick motherfuckers in the universe. You could roll a piece of shit down a hill and these flies would literally chase it like their lives depended on it. These guys are so fucking pathetic. But yeah, they've been talking about me trying to get Wick and...
Oh. Well, I mean, if you're trying to deplatform someone from Wick, isn't that like, doesn't that count as going after a job or something? Doesn't it? Yeah. I mean, you're trying to cut someone's personal or business connections, right? That's gay. Yeah, Destiny is definitely not on right now. Otherwise, he would have already responded. Destiny responds extremely quickly when it comes to his drama. Anything else, it's just like fucking 12 fucking years of nothingness.
Connor, counterpoints. I know this because my people always send me links when they're all talking like counter.
No, I want to listen to specifically what Dooby has done, or the allegations of it. But, yeah.
So I guess my question is, have you participated in gay ops as your...
But that sounds like gay ops, right? Like trying to pressure another content creator to sever ties with another content creator is a gay op, right? Like factually speaking, that's a gay op, right? Like a gay op is under the umbrella of gay op. Like I mean, trying to sever another bridge. I mean, Connor does this too. Right?
I don't know, as the king of the Discord political dumbasses.
Absolutely, but not with streamers. So if you look up Centipede Central right now, it's like Google Centipede Central. There's a Vice article that talks about Centipede Central. There being like a coup and the server was destroyed, right? And it was at the time it was the largest, I think it was the largest political Discord server. It was a very pro-Trump server, and it was destroyed from the inside by the admin team. I did that, right? I wasn't on the server at all, but I knew the people on the server. I knew people on the admin team, and I convinced them to turn on each other and destroy the server. Now, early on, when I was building my Discord server, I did a lot of things like that. There was a fucking interview that I did where the guy was calling like the Genghis Khan of Discord, right? Because what I was doing early on was I would go to smaller Discord servers or even larger Discord servers, and I would try to convince the owners to merge with me.
I probably lean more that it's not okay to dox Dooby over that unless D had other reasons, but just me. No. So yeah, I was just correcting what I asked of Destiny, but yeah. Like the way I kind of think about it is I don't think it's as bad as that yet, right? I don't know, but I understand that in a war, it's like you kind of want to fight on all fronts as well, because trying to discriminate like a Russian soldier, right, from like the Kremlin itself is like it doesn't really matter. They're all enemies, right? But yeah, but you know, whatever.
And so I can pull their community into my community and grow the bubble. Or if I couldn't do that, I would see them as a competitor. I would look for ways to take them down. And I don't mean reporting them to Discord. I mean I would turn the admin team against each other. Now, the truth is, I realized this when I was very young. I do have the ability to be extremely manipulative, extremely cunning, if you want to call it that. I'm very good at reading people. And I think
Okay, dude. Anime villain, generic anime villain. Okay, dude. Cringe.
a lot of people on Discord are people with not much not much of a social life, no practice in any sort of these interactions. So a lot of them are very easy to, sway if you want to.
Why, dude? Why does it stop? This is so cringe. What the fuck? Yeah, I know how to manipulate people. Yeah, that's right. I might be some what they call a master, a puppet master. Okay, I might be what they call a person in the shadows. Oh, I'm so cool, dude. What? Dude, give me a break. Oh my god, dude, get me out. Cringe.
I did do that early on starting my
What
Discord
is
server,
this?
so I'm not going to be dishonest about that, and I can give you tons of examples of that.
Well, okay, so hold on, but right there, even though you're saying that you are guiltless in reference to trying to do gay ops against Destiny, can you see how?
Ugh. I was once living in society, but then society betrayed me. It turned its back on me. And it showed me that it wasn't that I was born for this world, is that this world was not born for society.
How somebody who knows your prior reputation as a Discord Genghis Khan and sees you moving through various communities in a hostile way to that creator, how they would be suspicious.
Well,
that you were effectively like the Varys, you're turning your
Counter is like fucking oiling him up, dude. Counter is like hyping him up way too much, dude. Holy shit. Dude. He's like, so you're telling me you're like the fucking Emperor Palpatine of the space, right? You're telling me that you're the Darth Vader of this space, right? You're telling me that you're so cool and so badass, right? Oh my
army
god.
and by the way, I've just been watching a lot of Game of Thrones clips recently, so I'm sorry to
Stop.
everybody who hasn't watched Game of Thrones
Well,
recently.
you're not the first to make the Varys reference.
Well, but if you're making the Varys,
Oh my god, no! I can only cringe so much, okay?
reference, then like why wouldn't that person be concerned that Varys and his little
Dude.
birds seem to no longer favor them for king of Twitch and YouTube politics? Now I think this is kind of lame.
I will say that Destiny saying that he has like little birds everywhere is like part of the weird gay op roleplay shit. Like it is a little bit cringe, obviously, the little birds part. But I think that's the extent and end of it. I think that's literally the end of it, right? But being called the Varys is kind of weird, gonna be honest. Okay, I think that's more cringy. But hey,
Because I think you should just create your content and not really give a shit about the gay ops of other people. But at the same time, if somebody has built their career on Reddit,
you want a peak comparison to play on stream? What was this?
I normally don't.
Oh, what's this?
I normally don't talk about this kind of stuff because it makes people treat me differently. That's why I don't talk about it. They either don't believe me at all, and they think I'm a liar, I'm delusional, or even worse, they believe me and then they watch everything that they say around me. That's why I don't tell people it. That's also why I don't play Among Us.
She laughed. Oh no. Okay, dude. It's kind of funny that it's the same game too. Okay.
Built their career
Okay,
on
cool.
Discord, built their career on relationships, and now everything is imploding, then why wouldn't you see Varys, you know, kind of turning against your cause and be like, oh shit, this motherfucker's trying to destroy me?
Yeah, I totally get that, right? But
All
this
right,
is what I
I'm
wanted
gonna
to
do the
say
stream
earlier.
like this.
I did that with Discord servers. I've never done that with a Twitch streamer person because, from my perspective, you other streamers are people. This is your livelihood. I have no interest in destroying your livelihood, right? Like that's disgusting. I mean, I'm a business owner.
But you can argue that trying to wait, what? But you can argue that trying to sever someone's bridges is destroying someone's livelihood. Like you can easily argue that though, right? Like for example, I would argue that Connor trying to destroy the bridge between me and Destiny is destroying my livelihood, right? Is a part of like it does make me feel worried that I might lose the connection between me and Destiny, right? Like, especially if something like that happens. I think it totally is, right? Like, if you care so much as to try to pressure other people to sever bridges with a content creator that you don't like, I would consider that to be part of destroying your livelihood, right? But yeah, I don't know.
Started my business when I was 22 years old. I grew up extremely poor. Right? I used to work 3 jobs and sell my blood for gas money. Like
Alright,
I know
what's
what it's like
that?
to grind, right? So I have no interest in undermining, destabilizing, destroying somebody's business. Like this, I wouldn't do that. And I don't think you'll ever find an example of me doing this.
When a nice guy loses his temper, personified.
True. Thank you so much, Corey, for the $5. Dooby is like, nice guys always finish last. But you know what happens when people are no longer nice to the nice guy? He turns into the mean guy. And you don't want to see the mean guy.
To anybody within the streaming or like space at all, ever. But if we're talking about like Discord servers, I also haven't done it in a long time with Discord servers, but I can understand you having that impression. Like there was a time when people were afraid to talk to me one-on-one because they were afraid I'd do like mind magic on them, right? Like, so I totally understand the impression, right? But
oh
again,
my god, dude, this is so cringe. I'm sorry, this is so cringe. I don't know if I can handle this, dude. Like he's actually like trying to paint himself out to be like some kind of badass, dude. Oh my god, dude, give me a break.
You'll never find an example of me doing this on with like streamers, other than that one thing with Mr. Girl.
What is this?
If you want to call it that, which I don't really consider that.
No, but but putting it together and by the way, like I'm not saying that this is true. Okay, I'm presuming, I'm hoping, because I've only seen you as a frog. The only time I've seen your face was when it was a random black guy talking to Nick Fuentes.
Hey, that was really funny.
What was that? You or was that somebody else?
No, that was some black child from YouTube.
Okay. But see, that's the kind of thing where it was funny, right? It's funny, and I've engaged. Like I liked our debates. I like the way that you test the grounds. I like the way that you test the water. But you understand, from my perspective, I only know you as a frog PFP. I only know you as a frog PFP who has tricked Nick Fuentes into thinking that you're black, who has done gay ops in order to take over Discords, who has played a steelman of
Connor, please stop. Okay, you're feeding into his ego. Like you're feeding dangerous amounts into his ego, okay? If he truly was so badass, he wouldn't be so hurt, right? Like he wouldn't be so hurt by Zip Zip, and he wouldn't be so hurt by Destiny's allegations, right? Like you could have you literally could have just like I don't know, you could have just like played it cool, okay? You could have just said, "Yeah, I know that Destiny could do that. I mean, Destiny could try. Destiny could try to dox me, I guess, but it doesn't really matter. I just want to do what's right, right? Like the thing is that he could be cool. Like he could be cool. He could be cool, okay? Yeah. Feeding his ego is why he's comfortable talking about how cool he thinks he is. Based. Connor is content minded. Okay, this is content brain. All right, like this is actually just content brain. Okay,
Every
True.
political philosophy, and then
Gassing
also
him
you're
up.
unironically a frog, which is a creature of chaos, and you
Agent counterpoints, move in now. Good luck.
have wings, which is literally the description of Jungian chaos, right? And so I know that it's like it's
What?
cartoony, it's jokey, it's funny, it's very low stakes, it's Discord, right? But at the same time,
Cool.
you could be blameless and guiltless, but I understand how a paranoid person who is being attacked on all fronts, who has lost all of their online friends, how they would see you like moving through several communities and then be like, oh, Dooby's positioning himself to fuck me over, even though we've known each other for a decade. Fuck Dooby.
Yeah, again, I can understand. And actually, I'm very happy you caught on to the Chaos Frog thing. That's really funny. I didn't think anybody caught on to that. But it started as like a Pepe reference. I'm the king of the Pepes on my Discord server. It's kind of the joke. So the reason that what you just said doesn't land with me is I've known him for almost 10 years, right? And he knows that I know everybody in the space. I know Pisco, I know Wick, I know Erudite, I know fucking everybody, right? And I've been in all these communities for years, right? Like I knew Chud when he was like a 10 viewer Andy, if you want.
I know, isn't it? So I always compliment Chud whenever I bring shit up, and I don't know if he ever sees like if anybody ever clips it or tags him in it, but I'm actually proud. I'm proud to have known Chud back when he was wearing a fucking wrestling mask. Like I'm proud that I've known him for that long, and now he's a successful drama streamer.
Yeah, well, before the wrestling mask, it was some like green like picture of some dude with white hair. I forget who the dude was. But yeah, I've known you since you came on the scene. I've known Pisco since he came into the scene. Actually, very early on, I did consider
Streaming,
sort of monopolizing this side of Twitch.
Oh my god.
I'm a pretty wealthy person, right? I'm not the average chat shitter, right? And
Oh my god. Dooby is the patron god of chat shitters, dude. Like, all I see Dooby is, like, sneaking around gaily, by the way, in the most homosexual manner in Pisco's chats. This is what Dooby does. Dooby is a most homosexual person, okay? He is a homosexual of the highest order, alright? All he does is be gay in Pisco's chat, okay? He lurks around in Pisco's chat, and he acts in the most homosexual way possible, okay? I'm sorry, but it doesn't matter how rich you are. It doesn't matter how wealthy you are. It doesn't matter, okay? Because at the end of the day, you are a shitter like the rest of us. Because do you know what's so great about the online space? It's almost as if it unites everyone from all fronts, and everyone can unite around the same behavior, right? It's almost as if everyone can be the same, all right? I mean, does it matter whether or not you're rich? Donald Trump's rich, okay? He's also a rapist. Okay, so yeah, I mean, like, what do you want me to say? Like, do you want, like, everyone to fucking kiss you now? Kiss the frog? Do you know what happens when you kiss the frog, okay? It turns into a beautiful prince, okay? Or a beautiful girl, or a beautiful woman. Do you know what happens if you kiss Dooby? You'll die, because Dooby is a poisonous frog, okay? You'll get fucking frog poisoning, okay? I don't know. Just run along with it, okay? Jesus. But
I do have
anyway.
a competitive streak. This is true, right?
Oh my. Okay. All right. Okay. I can't watch any more of this. I can't do it. Okay. I have a competitive streak of being homosexual in other people's chats on YouTube.
Very early on, when I saw the Twitch politics space kind of forming, I did consider monopolizing it in meaning that I wanted to pull all these small streamers onto my Discord server, have them stream from my server, use my audience for not just like views, but also like reactions, pull people from my community onto their stream to have debates and whatnot, because I felt like that would be an easy way
I'm never
to
fixing my
feed them
fucking hair.
content.
I blame Dooby. Fuck
And in
Dooby
return,
for
I
doing
would
this to my hair.
pay, I think it was like $500-$600 a week for each of them to advertise their shit, right? Like all
Yeah,
over the place.
for small people, they would fucking love that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I strongly considered doing this. I think we started it a little bit, but I realized pretty quickly that because you guys were essentially competing businesses, it just wasn't going to work out, because you know there's too much incentive to fuck each other over, or not work together, or fight for time slots, or whatever the fuck. And I just had no
True.
interest in managing all that. So, but that was very early on, right? But getting back to the Destiny thing, I because he knows me, and because he knows that I know everybody, I think him pushing this idea that I'm in these spaces to fuck him over is ridiculous. I think he has to know that's bullshit, because again, he knows that I know Pisco. I've known Pisco probably longer than he's
I
known
can't.
Pisco,
I'm trying to fix
right?
my
I was
hair.
in Pisco's community for a long time. Pisco sort of like
Wow.
replaced him as my like listening. You and Pisco actually replaced Destiny as my
Stay.
like daily
Stay.
listening streams while I'm working, right? So I was in Pisco's stream for months, just listening, super chats, chatting, fucking with people in chat. Usually arguing Israel Palestine in his Discord server, because he's got a server full of like rabid Zionists. So him pushing this idea that I'm only there to like turn Pisco against him is fucking ridiculous, right? Like,
Yeah. That's the least, something that Queeman said to his credit, even the last time that Queeman and I talked in DMs, we fought. Destiny was like, oh yeah, all these people are conspiring to fuck me over and blah 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 blah. And Queeman said, to his credit, I think, and I think Steven needs.
I'll tell you what's going on, okay? Not every single one of them is conspiring to fuck him over, but do you know what's happening? I think that there is enough people to the point where Destiny doesn't really want to, like, investigate, like, whether or not, like, he is going after someone who is possibly, like, innocent or something, right? Because the thing is that, like, if he's, like, getting canceled, like, if Destiny is getting canceled right now, like, why should he discriminate between his attackers? Because his attackers never discriminate between him and his orbiters, right? Like, his attackers don't really discriminate when it comes to interpreting who's an orbiter and who isn't an orbiter, right? So why the fuck should he like do the same thing? It's the tit for tat thing, by the way. Just by the way, it's literally tit for tat, like literally tit for tat, yeah. But yeah, like the anti-fans are going for genocide, right? They're trying to paint Destiny as going for genocide. Destiny chooses violence, right? He chooses tit for tat, right? And then they cry wolf, right? Yeah.
To consider this. Well, you
Game
did
theory.
something to piss all these people off, right? And it really is like the Pixie situation. Like he was complaining to me. He's like, oh, nobody's working with me. You know, nobody talks to me, nobody debates me, nobody DMs me, et cetera, et cetera. Well, I think for me, you know, because I get to, my chat hated me earlier today because I was shitting on all their degenerate pornographic sex behavior.
Connor, like, can't you just find something new to talk about? Like, please.
I think that one of the cornerstones of liberal and progressive perspective on sex is consent and not really much else.
Stop.
And
Okay.
Steven went on the red pill arc, which was arguing for like a more liberal progressive sexual position. And then he was viewed as
Oh, there is a liberal sexual position.
violating consent. And so as a result, it
Not
wasn't
funny.
just viewed as, oh, Steven did this like cute gooner fuck up thing. Isn't he so fucking cute? It was like, no, you said something in public that should have prohibited you from behaving this way privately. Because you behave this way privately, I can no longer trust you. And not only can I not trust you, I probably dislike you. And I think that's why the people are hostile to Steven, is because of that, more than out of some Game of Thrones Machiavellian desire to dethrone the king.
Yeah, it really is just that. I mean, like I said, I cut ties with him entirely when the leak stuff happened, and it wasn't really
Did you cut ties in November or in January?
I think it was November. So there was a stream that was
November
on-
29th was the original leaks reveal, and then January 20th was when President Sunday kind of revealed it to the world.
No, it was before that. It was when
Okay.
Melina started saying on the stream that her stuff was shared without consent, and people were kind of ignoring this. I was really irritated that people were ignoring this because I wanted it to be answered for, right? I wanted to, like, is this true? I want somebody to bring it up. So there was a stream that he was on with Wick.
Hold on, did you pay Wick to ask that?
Yeah, I did. I use. It's
I was about to
anonymous
say, because that,
account.
that would enforce the conspiracy.
Yeah, hold on.
I'm
So
talking
I
around. I'm talking
paid Wick
around.
I paid, there was like $20 to ask a question, right? Or like to bring it up.
That's funny.
So that was because it really irritated me that people were like Wick was ignoring.
Wait, so if Melina is saying that, like, what? How do you know if it's Destiny that she's talking about? Like, what the fuck? Like, or are you just like assuming that it's Destiny for whatever reason? Why? And if so, why haven't Melina joined Pixie's lawsuit then? Right? There's like so many reasons.
This. Everybody's ignoring this. It was silly. But the thing that really got me to cut ties it wasn't even really the nude leaking thing, though that is bad. It was his response to it, which I thought he was taking like no accountability. No, he was behaving like a selfish piece of shit. But further, the leak stuff exposed what I consider to be like malicious dishonesty regarding the Lauren Southern thing. It's his fucking relationship. I don't give a fuck who he's fucking. But I remember when he broke up
Destiny's actually addressed that before. What did he say?
with Melina, there were like hours long streams, right, where he was framing her as some delusional, jealous, crazy person. Since he was jealous over Lauren Southern, over some other woman that she was
What is Connor doing?
that she thought he had some relationship with, and again framing her as some delusional nutbag. But that was true, right? So he was, my opinion, maliciously slandering her to her community, to make her to weaponize the community against her, so that the narrative that was spread is that she's crazy and jealous and yada yada. Yep. Like that looks like, to me, that's gross, right? So that plus the way that he responded to the nude leak stuff just made me feel like, okay, I just want. Oh, and also this caused me to look into other shit.
He never called her
like the
jealous.
claim that Hassan
he's working out.
went to like a brothel and like fucked some like sex trafficked children, whatever the fuck. Like it got me to looking into all that stuff and a bunch of other shit in the past where I'd kind of given him a pass or just not looked into it because I trusted the guy. I thought he wouldn't lie about this shit like that. And I just found that just a long pattern of what I consider to be malicious dishonesty. So I just wanted nothing to do with him. So I cut ties, just want nothing, no networking, don't want to be in any of this content, don't want to be on the stream, don't want to talk to him. Just,
I mean that's fine if you don't want to associate yourself with Destiny, but the thing is like, why are you trying to get Wick to disassociate with Destiny? That seems silly, right? Like, why are you trying to do that, I guess? And also, like, didn't Dooby admit to that, like, in this interview or conversation, that he actually did try to do that? Why? That's somebody else. That's someone else's issue. Like, that's not you. That's not you, right?
same thing that sort of happened with Chud, where I just kind of pulled away and that's it.
Yeah.
Right. And if he comes up, I'll criticize him.
Did you pull away from Chud?
Yeah. I used to be in Chud's community all the time. Like Chud's was, because Chud streams early. For a while, he was my like early morning stream while I was working. Right.
Dude, anything related to Twitch and YouTube politics from Chud, I still watch because it's fun. It's fun having an English guy watch a stupid thing in Twitch and YouTube politics or Twitch and YouTube politics adjacent.
He supposedly went into JStock server to get info about me, found a connection to Destiny, and went apeshit. Destiny didn't go after him first. He's acting like he wanted nothing to do with Destiny. Hold on, do you have screenshots?
And then just pause every 5 minutes and explain why the person involved is a fucking idiot. That's good content to me. It's like very high calorie, low commitment content.
He's like Jerry Springer, you know?
Yeah.
He's like he's a great entertainer. My issue with Chud was just that I felt like was running cover and excusing the Elder Drazi stuff.
Yeah.
And for me that crosses the line because of so much the sharing of the personal information, but I felt like they were.
Oh, damn you! Okay.
I don't want to be an asshole.
Can I show it on stream?
But I felt like they were bullying a guy who was like at the bottom of the totem pole. Yeah. And for me, that's not okay. Right?
No, there's some things that I've seen from Chud and Queeman where like if you're bullying somebody who's not a part of the community, who's unlikely to see the content, I don't really care about that. But there's some people who are clearly like super sensitive to the point that they'll be looking for lolcow content about themselves. And so they'll basically be like psychically hurting themselves. And
You
Chud and
should
Queeman will keep going because they think it's funny to bully somebody who's a fucking lolcow. But for me, if you're bullying like a lolcow with 1 million subs, who has a shitload of viewers, who has a shitload of financial support, who has a wife or a girlfriend, I don't give a fuck. That guy has a decent life outside of stream. Whereas if you're bullying a lolcow who's likely to see it and they don't have anything going for them, then you're just bullying somebody who's already on the verge of suicide. It's like, holy.
Yeah, but normally we don't really assign that much of a rule, or like of a rule to content creators, right? Like for example, like if some lefty, if you're beefing with lefty communities, pretty much all of them are suicidal, right? But you wouldn't consider the fact that all of them are suicidal into the fact that you're retaliating against them, right? Like if you're beefing with Hassan's community, they're probably all suicidal, okay? But I'm just saying, like normally that's not really a standard that we ascribe to, but yeah.
Shit.
And to be clear, like while that was happening, Queeman was deleting stuff. After a while, he started deleting things and telling people to stop it. But DK was doing it. Child was still excusing it. So for me, there's like a line cross there where you're like, just and Eldrazi was on stream and they were justifying it to him, right? So it wasn't even like he's just he wasn't even there, but he was on the stream and they're justifying posting his shit to him and mocking his wife and yada yada, right? So like there's a line there that I'm just not okay with it, so I pulled away from the community, right? And that doesn't mean I'm trying to take Chud down or I hate Chud. It's just I didn't like how he handled the situation, and for me, I have no attachment, so I just pulled away, go somewhere else. Not a big deal. Which is exactly what happened with Steven.
But it isn't what happened with Steven, right? Because if it's true that you're trying to sever his ties in private, that I just don't see that. I don't see that as I don't see that as just simply distancing yourself. You're doing something actively, whereas you would have been fine passively, right? If you want to show that you're not supportive of it, do you know what you can do? You can just like leave Wix community too, right? Yeah, you don't have to do this like weird gay op shit. I don't know.
Right. Now I talk about Steven sometimes because he's relevant to the space. He's a very big figure in the space. And whenever there's some new development in his court case, whenever he says something stupid that causes controversy, people talk about it. So I talk about it and I criticize him because he deserves a lot of criticism for the dumb shit he's been doing.
Yeah,
and that's
right. That's where for me. So I understand your position within the community. I understand why Steven would be paranoid about you moving through various communities. I understand that your criticism might hit a little bit harder compared to like the average chat shitter. But I can't identify a specific behavior that you've committed that the average Destiny anti-fan chatter shitter hasn't done. Criticizing the way that he's conducted his personal life, plenty of people do that. Criticizing the way that he's engaging with politics optically or rhetorically, I don't even know if I've heard you do that. But I wouldn't view that as beyond the pale. And so that's where for me, if I was to be, because like doxing, you're exposing somebody's name, you're exposing their address, you're exposing their phone number. By implication, you want some people to call and harass that person either at their home or at their business. You want people to DM that person and show them that their address is on the internet, that way they feel unsafe in their own home. You want that person, like their real name to be emailed or direct message to them. That way they know like their identity has been exposed to make them feel uncomfortable. Yeah. Right. I feel like even if the act of doxing itself is not illegal, the harassment that is implied.
Does Connor use Antifan the same way this community does? Yes.
By actively participating in doxing is unethical and immoral. And so the only way that you should really engage in that kind of behavior would be within the context of what he said, like, well, I've been getting harassed for 2 years and these people are responsible, therefore I'm going to do it to them so they feel what I feel.
Because implying that Antifan has a lot of connotations to it. Yeah, I mean, the connotation is that you're in cahoots, right? You're either in cahoots or you're falling in line, right? Yeah. Which, to be fair, I'm not entirely sure if Dooby is distinguishable from other people of the same color, right? Dooby was on J-Stock's stream, right? Dooby was on J-Stock's stream. Dooby was I don't know, like he was just like if you're really trying to separate if you're really trying to describe how different you are from these people, why the fuck would you hop onto JStock stream? I'm just so confused. Like you're just playing into it. You're playing into it, right? Like then don't blame us, I guess. Fuck. I mean,
I could understand that morally, but I don't think that there's sufficient evidence to show that JStock specifically, Queeman specifically, and you specifically have engaged in that
like I'm
behavior.
sorry,
You could say that
yeah.
JStock and Queeman have fostered the kind of communities that wouldn't give two fucks about Steven getting doxxed and would probably even laugh at him being harassed. And there might be some cross-pollination between them and Kiwi Farms. But I don't think that's sufficient evidence to justify Queeman and JStock's doxing, let alone yours.
Yeah. And to like, since I was accused of working with these people, cause before I didn't watch JStock stream at all. I saw him once in a while. I think typically when Destiny was on there, I'd watch whatever video went out, to see whatever drama or argument they were having.
But Dooby, you were on JStocks, no?
Queeman, I was aware of him streaming, but I didn't watch it. I think I watched it once when he was talking about some Israel debate. I forget who it was. I feel like it was Mehdi Hassan. But other than that, I had no interaction with these communities. So yeah, like saying that I'm like in league with them or whatever. And this is what really irritated me isn't so much the dox threat, right? Because people have been trying to dox me for fucking a decade, right? And much scarier people than DGG idiots who probably can't lift 20 pounds, right?
Right.
I've had run-ins with very serious groups. Like
yeah,
LNA,
no, you fought like
Adam
fucking
Muffin,
actual
like,
Nazis and dissident right-wing
Score.
groups.
Okay, Dooby says, okay, I feel like I've been this I think this is in Rick's server. I feel like I've been bamboozled. I didn't know that Peach Girl is one of Destiny's Conquest / BBDE girls. Okay. There's apparently deep lore there. People have been saying I'm a JSTOW co-conspirator for a while, so I figured I'd actually look at the Discord server and post. And they flooded me with all kinds of shit. Okay. Wait, so Dooby joined JStock's server after the whole thing went down? Okay. I see.
So I remember some of that.
I've gotten a shit ton of people arrested over the years. So
Right.
like these people are still after me.
Control and scroll. Okay.
So the only reason the doxing thing irritated me would be that I have a wife and son now, right? So if I were doxed, it might put them in some kind of danger. That's not okay to me. But really, the core of it was the dishonesty, because I think bare minimum, he has no evidence, no reason to believe that I'm doing all the shit he said.
Kind of weird and gross to call Peach a conquest. Yeah. That is anti-fan-ish lingo, I think. Yeah, I do actually think that is kind of anti-fan lingo. Yeah, I do think so. Unfortunately. Yeah. Let me know if you have any more of Dooby's fucking logs in other servers.
Beyond his paranoia, right? And
Yeah.
if he just asked Wick, Kyla, you, Pisco, none of these people would ever say that I pressured them to do anything, right? Like ever. And I'm very confident that none of them would say this.
The pressure thing, though, I think that it's subconscious, and I'm not saying.
Hold on, I'm gonna be right back. I lost Notable on Destiny server, but this fills the validation void. Dude, I am permabanned. I'm permabanned from Destiny's Discord server. Give me a break. What the fuck? Jesus, that's very gay. Wick having Peach on like she's the same person makes him a revenge porner of the soul. Okay. I don't really see this as something that's too serious, at least this one. But this is stupid. What the fuck? Okay. Cool. Okay.
At the time. But so I was there for months, arguing with people in the server.
Why is Foodshops permad? Lolly.
And in the chat all the time about random shit. And when you guys had that argument, there were people in Pisco server who are like hardcore DGers who wanted the bridge rebuilt, right? And when Pisco was arguing with Destiny, and I took Pisco's side.
That was just funny. It is. Listen, Wick should just rename himself to Revenge Porner of the Soul, okay? Fucking based. Alright. What that goes so hard. What the fuck?
They started and Destiny pushed this narrative that Pisco only dislikes him because of me, right? Which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, Pisco is not that weak-willed. Like,
yeah,
like Pisco is open to criticism.
A martini, shaken, not stirred.
What did Dooby do? Also, hello.
Dooby is just talking smack about Destiny's personal life in servers that is directly adjacent to Destiny's space. Yeah. Oh, also he tried to, I guess he tried to burn the bridge between Wick and Destiny. I think that's the biggest one. The biggest one for me, at the very least, is that he tried to burn the bridge, sever the bridge privately, I guess. Told Wick to, I'm guessing, try to sever the bridge between them. So, like, that, to me, I guess, is, in fact, the worst that he has done, I think. Yeah. Not good. Also, thanks for the 30 HNL, okay?
And open to suggestion, but try telling Pisco to do anything.
And by the way, I just want to say, like, him using kind of anti-fan language, like, I wouldn't say it's anti-fan language. I don't think I can diagnose him with that yet. I would need to see more logs in order to see if he uses anti-fan lingo, okay? Because at some point you begin to really, like, integrate that into your lingo and you just do it automatically. I would need to see whether or not he's actually using anti-fan lingo, okay? But he's definitely doing anti-fan actions, that's for sure, right? Talking smack about Destiny, about his BBD conquest woman, whatever the fuck, right? Trying to get Wick to drop Destiny. Yeah, like that's kind of, yeah. What's wrong with him telling Wick to not legitimize Destiny? It's incredibly gay to undermine a streamer's relationship with another person just because you don't personally like that person. If you don't like it, you can just go away yourself. Like, Jesus. You don't have to associate, like, yourself with somebody, right? No one's telling you to forcibly participate in Wix space, right? You don't have to be a part of Wix space, right? So the thing is that, like, why the fuck... like, why the fuck would you do that? There's just no reason other than for spite or for concern trolling, right? Like, I don't know. Like, it's anti-fan shit. Yeah.
Thing that he doesn't want to do.
Yeah, trying to isolate Destiny obsessively is anti-fan behavior. 100%, yeah.
It's like one of the most stubborn, intransigent, donkey-headed motherfuckers I've ever met in my life.
Okay,
where you cannot.
Also, by the way, okay, Pisco is 100% weak-willed. All right, Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Yeah, Pisco is weak-willed. He is. Okay. Do you know why? It's because he has a huge ego, and people with huge egos are very susceptible to praise, and they are very susceptible to validation and um, acceptance. Okay. So when Pisco gets raided by anti-fans like Queeman, and he begins to adopt their lingo as well, and he begins to project the fact that, oh yeah, you are just going after me for spite or something like that, right? You're just going after me personally, right? That kind of projection. In addition to him calling Destiny a sped, I think. And for calling like Destiny's defenders, one of Destiny's defenders, a white blood cell. Like this is anti-fan lingo. Like that is like core anti-fan lingo. Like I'm not just talking about like maybe yes, maybe no, right? Like nobody else remembers the white blood cell comment outside of like nobody uses that lingo outside of like current anti-fans. So I don't think Pisco is an anti-fan. I think Pisco still defends Destiny. But I guess what I'm saying is that Pisco is more susceptible to the anti-fans than one might think. Okay, so I don't think I agree with Connor here. People with big egos can be massaged. Yeah. You also mindfucked me on Pisco being toxically masculine in debates, and I super see it now. Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, Pisco probably has an inflated view of himself because he came from a very good law firm, you know, as his work. And he never concedes to any points. He probably views himself as like a god tier lawyer as well, a god tier attorney. Um, but do you know? But do you know who's kind of like that? It's Trump, right? You have a very inflated view of yourself. You're very susceptible to flattery, right? It's all part of a fragile masculine ego, you know. It is what it is. Okay. Someone was sending them to everyone involved in the show yesterday because she wasn't open about it. What? Huh? I don't get the context of that one. Okay, just skip the post because I want to see the context, okay? I specifically give me things that Dooby says, okay? Specifically give me things that Dooby says. I don't particularly care about what other people unless it's super relevant, but yeah.
Force
I wanna,
Pisco to say
I'll diagnose on my own terms, okay?
or do anything that Pisco himself does not want to do.
I really like Pisco.
No,
I
he's
consider
great.
him to be one of the.
He's just an
like,
asshole.
I think there are like a handful of people in the space that I consider to be like genuinely decent, good people, and he's
I mean, Queeman still raids into Pisco. Yeah,
one of them, right? Like
he
genuinely.
still does it.
So
He legalistically argues sometimes. He likes to call it linearizing arguments. But sometimes I feel like he does. You believe in A, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you believe in B, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you believe in C, and I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, well, therefore you must believe in X, and I'm like, hold up. So
yeah, I get that.
But he's
that's it.
rhetorically effective.
And Pisco backed D and confronted Soypill. Yeah, which tells me that he's not fully an anti-fan, right? Because why the fuck would he defend Destiny against Soypill if he was an anti-fan, right? If he truly was falling in line entirely, then he would have been taking the J-Stock position. The J-Stock position being just take the opposite of whatever Destiny takes, right?
just don't find that
Yeah.
tactic to be particularly honest, but that's fine.
I don't think it's dishonest so much. I think that's just the way that he thinks. He's very linear, right?
Sure.
And it's actually there's extra steps.
I just think that any intelligent person, including him, because by the way, I don't think he's unintelligent or obtuse. I think he would concede that he got me to concede on ABC, but in order to necessarily believe X, I must also sign on to D, E, and F. And then we fight on D, E, and F.
Yeah, I get that. But yeah, so the idea that I convinced him to do that, to dislike Destiny, is ridiculous, right? So the only reason I was talking to about Destiny on Pisco's stream, I'm not even streaming in this chat, was because Pisco brought up this shit that Destiny was saying about him, that he was pandering to like Hassan and the far left or whatever the fuck. And Pisco
Right.
was very upset about that, right? So Pisco was talking about it. I was reacting to Pisco talking about it, and that was it, right? Like that, it wasn't any deeper than that.
Sure.
So there are people within Pisco's community who are because and this happens a lot with smaller creators when they're attached to a larger creator. A lot of the early joiners are people from that larger community, and they if there's any like conflict between the two, these early joiners will pressure the smaller streamer to rebuild the bridge, right?
Yeah.
And I think that was what was happening with Pisco. I think it's still happening with Pisco. And so when Destiny put out this narrative that I'm like working with all these people to undermine him or whatever, people within his community latched onto that and started pushing this idea that I was flooding his community with minions because people came on from the stream where, you know, hundreds of people watching the stream, people are going to join the Discord server. So people are coming on and agreeing with Pisco, and they thought that because they were agreeing with Pisco, they must be minions of mine. Right? Like that's how ridiculous it was. Right. And eventually one of them paid like,
yeah, that's where I
Wait, what? But no one said that. Did I miss something? I don't remember a single instance of Destiny saying that, like, Dooby has minions in the first place. That sounds so stupid. Again, Dooby is not a streamer. He's not, like, I mean, unless he's talking about his Discord server? But yeah, I don't know. Like, I just never seen anyone claim that. I don't know where this is coming from. Nobody thinks that Dooby has minions, right?
think Steven has an example, and I'll just say this honestly because I think I told him to his face last time I was in Miami. Queeman and J-Stock, in my opinion, have engaged in A-log behavior. And what I mean by that is that if Steven fucks something up or does something criticizable, they will blast that out to their audience. Now, their audiences are comparably small, but they use that as fodder for content, kind of like we all do, right? When you hate somebody consistently and they do something stupid, you make it content. But I think J-Stock in particular has built his bones off of being a Destiny A-log. Now, that being said, there's nothing wrong with that. Some of us have engaged in that kind of content. And not only that, but then Steven brings up, well, within the information warfare game that he's playing, because he's tied up by legal shit and not really having an orbit anymore, he feels like he must try to probably rebuild the bridge with Pisco, use Foodshops as a weapon, use me as a weapon.
But using implies that he is directing where, like, he's swinging me. Destiny doesn't direct where he's swinging me. Like, if I am the sword of DGG, I'm a fucking living, breathing, autonomous sword. Okay, that's what I am. Okay, like the thing is I'm not like, yeah. He's not telling me where to attack. Like, I wish he did, because I would have a better time. I would have a better time, like, finding content to cover, right? But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of weird to say, I guess, a little bit. It's just a little bit. It doesn't really matter, because the thing is that kind of implies that I don't really have my own autonomy and, like, decision making when it comes to this kind of stuff, right? I do have my own morals. I do have my own principles of why I do this, because I think that if everyone in the space is dogpiling you and there isn't like a single, there isn't some kind of fucking, like, there isn't a single good faith defender. I feel like I'm like morally obligated to take up that mantle. I have to, but yeah, I don't know. Like, again, you're entitled to a public defender. You're not entitled to a specific public defender. But yeah, it is what it is. You said you had access to Destiny's little birds after his first call in. Yeah, I do. Some of them, I think. Actually, I think all of them, yeah. At this point. But as I cover Charlie Kirk more, we haven't been in contact. You know, me and the birds haven't really been in contact that much, because I've been covering politics a lot. So, you know.
And insofar as I'm willing to be able to, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, like, no, you don't. You don't have to do any of this shit. You could just stream and talk about politics and create content. You don't need to engage in information warfare. And if Hassan and his large...
She's talking about me, by the way. I'm the little bird. There's at least one bird that is entirely private, entirely off the air, entirely private, entirely super private. You will not know who they are, okay? They do not want to be mentioned in any way whatsoever, okay? There's at least one of them that's like that, okay? Let's just put it like that, okay? So that automatically rules you, Carrier, out of that group, okay?
Audience says, oh, Steven's like a dishonest pedophilic rapist. You can just go, no, I'm not. And then you can keep going on with your content. Like you do not have to participate in the information warfare, because ultimately, like, yeah, well, you lose out on some opportunities. Sure. But realistically, the easier thing, rather than engaging in information warfare, would be to just engage in slightly better personal behavior. And so like, I don't think I'm asking for the moon from Steven, and I don't even think Steven is fighting me on what I'm asking him to do on a personal level. But like, what if you attacked me for who I am, that doesn't hurt me.
Yeah. No, I think the A-logging thing is weird. I'd never heard that term before I was accused of A-logging, right, or being associated with A-loggers. But I mean,
yeah, it's just documenting somebody's constant bad behavior.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I feel like, I mean, when I watch that,
like, for example, I don't even have the same I don't even have the same doxing. I don't even have the same doxing standards as Steven, right? Like, I think that if someone goes after your job, then like you're more justified to dox someone. Absolutely. Yeah. But I think that Steven's standard is like Steven's standard is that if you loosely associate with doxers and you play dumb about it, then yeah, at that point, that warrants you to be like that. Like you're more associated with Kiwi Farms, right? Because your audience and Kiwi Farms audience is like one flat circle. So therefore, it doesn't really matter if Kiwi Farms is the one that doxed me, because you share the exact same audience as Kiwi Farms. So therefore, by that definition, you're eligible for being reverse doxed, right? So that I believe that's Destiny's justification. For me, it's different, because even if someone doesn't dox me, if you go after my job, I might dox you first. Okay? So that is the difference, right? Yeah.
and he would talk about Hassan anytime Hassan did something stupid, right? He would blow it up on the stream, talk about it. I mean, I think that's like normal behavior in the streaming space. I think everybody kind of does
with
that.
A-logging, to differentiate it from criticizing your political rivals and opponents, A-logging is like a sole focus. Like if Steven just had Hassan bad, Hassan.
I've been lazy with my A-logging. I've been lazy with my J-Stoke A-logging these days. Just no time. Been covering the Charlie Kirk stuff nonstop. And honestly, I can never see myself as a permanent A-logger of anybody, just mainly because I lose interest in someone after a while. Unless they pop back into the sphere, unless they pop back into the same like space, I just don't really see a reason to A-log someone forever, I guess. Yeah. You know. But yeah. Listen, I cover what I want to cover, okay? Jesus. That's it.
Hassan bad content, and that was all of his content, then I would think
A-logging requires focus and discipline. No, it doesn't. It just requires OBS, okay? That's all it does. You just open OBS and you hit the record button, okay? That's all you do. It's fine. It's easy.
Okay. If, however, it's like 1 out of every 50 videos is a Hassan bad video, then I wouldn't call him an A-logger.
Okay.
And that's why Queeman, I think, is not technically an A-logger, because he actually has diverse content.
What? A-loggers can have diverse content. What is Connor saying, dude? Okay, oh my, he's getting his definitions mixed up.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense to me. And like I said, I don't like from my interaction with JSOC, he seems like a nice guy. I don't know him very well. Queeman, we have had that massive argument, but beyond that, I don't know him very well at all. So I can't really speak to their behavior or any of that.
I'm so confused. A-loggers can, like, A-log content creators who A-log for a living, like me, okay? Like, you can 100% have diverse content. Like, what the fuck, right? Like, when I was A-logging JStalk, it doesn't mean I was only A-logging JStalk, right? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know what he's saying. What the fuck? Even as a logger, someone who obsessively documents and records everything a single person does, usually against their own benefit, right? Usually maliciously, in a malicious manner. Yeah, usually in a manner where you're just trying to document everything. So then you don't want to get you don't want to let them get away with things, basically, right? If that makes sense. But yeah. Queeman's content is way more diverse than Foodshops. I'm okay with that. I don't care. I mean, people cover different things, right? Some people focus in on niches, some people don't. That's the reality of the space, right?
But yeah, I think so yeah, I was gonna say that within Pisco's community, there was pressure. I think I saw people.
Not maliciously, just following someone they don't like and document it. Yeah, that's called malicious. Okay, if you don't like someone and you document them, it's malicious. Yes, that's what it is. Okay, dummy.
Within his community, pressuring him to rebuild the bridge,
dude,
making him feel like he had less support than he did within his own community, banning people for agreeing with him on that fucking stream, which is fucking ridiculous. Eventually, one of them paid like $500 to ban me and make it sick. Like one of the admins banned me, and then he paid like $500 to make it sick. And so like, I think that comes from the other pressure, right? Which is the pressure to maintain the bridge, maintain the connection with the community. I think if
oh yeah, guys, okay, please like the stream. Okay, please donate super chat memberships. Okay, kick.com/foodshops. You can also donate via Kick. If you donate via Streamlabs, just so you know, okay, your information is not private. If you donate via Streamlabs, okay? But I do get the biggest cut if you do donate via Streamlabs, okay? Almost 100% of the money goes to me if you donate via Streamlabs. If you want to do it anonymously while still giving me a big cut, Kick 95.5, okay? As opposed to YouTube's measly 70-30, okay, which is pathetic and boring, okay? Not good.
you, for example, I think you've done a really good job of separating yourself, so to shield shield yourself from that kind of pressure with your with your military content, with the conservatism thing, with your Warhammer content. I think you've built your own community, right? Like I think you've done a very good job. But I think there are absolutely people within your community. I'm seeing some of them in the chat right now, where if you did burn the bridge with Destiny, they would pressure you hard to rebuild it.
Sure.
And I think it's normal. I think it's normal for people to want two content creators who they like to interact with each other. I'm not even saying that's a bad thing, but I think that pressure exists both ways. Now, in terms of the pressure that he claims that I was doing, right? I don't think it's just not real.
Yeah,
like again,
it's not substantiated any worse than anybody else's action in the space. So just because, and I'll just say this descriptively, just because you run the politics server, just because you know everybody and have done AMAs with them or interacted with their content or whatever, I wouldn't say that like your criticism could be felt.
This is so telling. Peace Coast mods paid money to keep Dooby banned so that they could get into Destiny's good graces and rebuild the bridge. This is what he would do with his Discord server wars. So he thinks it is believable, but nobody thinks like this. Peace Coast mods paid money to keep Dooby banned. Keep Dooby banned from Peace Coast community, right? Not from Destiny's community. From Peace Coast community. Good night, Peach.
Harder because of the length of your relationship and your position with Twitch, within Twitch and YouTube politics. But right. I don't think that should change his behavior. Some dickhead on a fucking and that's the thing. Like whenever I get caught up in drama, I really try to zoom out and articulate what's going on. because I think it sets things into scale. So as an example, with the Steven Pixie thing, it's Steven recorded home.
Bro, dude, Pisco's mods do not like Destiny. I'm pretty sure, right? They don't even like Destiny. Dooby must be really especially fucked up for them to do that, by the way. Yeah, just so you know, okay? Just so you know. Yeah. Pisco, because Pisco's mods are because I've seen a screenshot of one of them saying, "Oh wow, the Destiny raiders are coming in. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, look at them, little right." They banned me without explanation. They banned Yoge without explanation. Pretty fast within the day. Okay. But yeah. They were constantly pushing for Pisco to rebuild the bridge. I have not seen any evidence of that. But you can present some to me, okay? Teeny tiny Tony. Okay, I'm assuming that you're a Queenman follower of some kind. I'm assuming that you're a Antifan fan. Anti-Fanny fan.
Homemade pornographic content. He shared it with somebody he shouldn't have. It got leaked and he's being sued. That's what's going on.
I mean, well, I think he also recorded it without consent. I think
the audio recordings allegedly from Sherry, which has not proceeded criminally or civilly, as far as I know.
Yeah. So, but I believe that's true. So, because I saw, do you know who Baby Peaches is?
No, but I think I've seen them on a stream recently.
Yeah.
You're about to miss the best part, Peach. Kaya called in and was defending Destiny. Oh, really? Can you link me?
She was on the stream recently. I think
I might have been on the stream with us recently. I might have been.
She was on the stream with us recently, right? Yeah, she was on that stream with us recently.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Baby Peaches. Yeah.
I was on so I didn't know who this person was at all, right? And I was on a stream with her where I argued.
Peaches is like a. Okay, this isn't mean to downplay you or anything, but like, aren't you just like, you're just like, you just simply traded news and shit with Destiny, right? And then that's it. Like, that's the extent of your interactions, right? And you became like an orbiter of some kind. Yeah, I don't know. That's really about
argued with her about this Zip guy going to Steven's like hearing. And I thought that was like weird parasocial behavior. Like that's kind of weird.
Well, dude, I thought we all agreed that it wasn't that weird. Like, what the fuck? If someone was into, dude, if someone was into woodworking, okay, if someone was into woodworking, would you not go to the local woodworking tournament or something? Is that weird? If someone was into a celebrity, right, and the celebrity is having their fucking court hearing in town, right? Why the fuck would you not do that? If someone is a huge fan of Destiny, right? Why the fuck would you not go to the court hearing? Like I don't get it, because it would be entertainment. It's like going to WWE. It's like going to WWE or going to something else or whatever the fuck, right? Like I just don't see the big deal behind this. It's just I'm so confused. It's just I think it's just so stupid. Okay, I would have gone. Okay, just so you know, if it was locally near me, moi, I would go. Okay, me. Yeah, I would go.
To me, that's it. That was my criticism. I think it's kind of weird. That's it. So, she disagreed with me. Later, I went into this was post the allegations from Destiny. I went into JSOC server and people were saying, "Oh, you know, you're on stream with Peaches and she did this and this and this," and they showed me some screenshots of her.
For the record, I super disagree, lol. I ain't going to that shit because you're not killing the part of you that is cringing, okay? Yeah. Don't kill the part of you that is cringy, okay? If you're still into Power Rangers, let yourself still be into Power Rangers. If you're into Pokemon cards, let yourself to still be into Pokemon cards, okay? Who cares? If you're into Scott Pilgrim, okay? Let yourself still be into Scott Pilgrim. Okay? If you're into parasocial shit with Destiny, let yourself just still be a part of that. Just be cognizant of what you're doing, right? Just don't harm anyone. Like what the fuck? Like it's almost as if you can enjoy things as an adult in life without making it too weird, right? It's silly. It's stupid. Yeah.
It looks like from like early 2024, saying that she knows that she received videos that were recorded without consent. She received.
What about Legos? What, adults can't go to the local Lego conventions? A local Lego build meetup? An adult, like, what, adults playing with Legos? Isn't that a bit weird?
them from Destiny. Now, to me, that was shocking because I had no idea she had any connection to any of this stuff at all. So I went back into Wix server and I was asking about, like, hey, did you know this? And I.
What is this? Oh. Tangent. You talked shit about it before? I do. I'm sorry.
This is really into Asian food. It just annoys the fuck out of me. I think it's the dumbest thing ever. All the stupid different Korean barbecue, hot pot, pho, this, that. I'm like, get that fucking shit out of my face. Ramen really irritates me. I don't know why. It just does. You want to know why? It's because it's stupid and gimmicky. I ate ramen when I was in LA. They said, you gotta try ramen. And I spilled fucking grease all over my nice shirt. And it only makes sense because you're slurping a bunch of broth like an idiot. Same thing with hot pot. People are kerplunking bullshit in like a...
He's describing himself though, right? Like he's going in on people who eat ramen, but like he's the one that spilled ramen, right? Like he is the one that is admitting that he is consuming Asian food and spilling ramen. But okay.
6 million degree pot of boiling hot liquid.
Okay, yeah, this is a skill issue, okay? Like, this is 100% a skill issue. What the fuck? How the fuck do you spill How do you spill ramen? You just eat it slowly, okay? Savor the taste. Like, like, why are you sucking? Why are you sucking on that noodle? Like, what the fuck?
Seriously?
Is it like fucking... Is it like fucking muscle memory? Or like, what's going on here, dude?
The Korean barbecue...
Oh!
One of my fucking handhelds and shareables. I don't want to be slurping noodles and hot pot and ramen. I don't want to be dripping boiling hot fucking grease and broth all over myself. I want a handheld.
Huh?
So yeah, it's dumb. That's my opinion, though. That's just my opinion. I get it. I understand why people like it. I understand the appeal. It's just not for me. It's too much. I like simplicity. You know, I went to like a Thai restaurant. I like Thai food a lot. Thai is good, but I went to like a Thai restaurant. I'll never forget. I got like a Penang curry. Penang.
Can you imagine like Nicholas Fuentes like fucking like moving into a fucking Thai restaurant and ordering food? I can't imagine Nicholas Fuentes in that fucking instance. Like I just can't. I'm sorry, I just can't like imagine him in that instance. But, yeah.
Curry for the first time a few years ago. And I was like, so how do you eat this? I'm like, do you put the rice in it? And they're like, well, you can do whatever you want. I'm like, yeah, I know that. But how are you supposed to do it, you fucking idiot? Don't you just have murderous rage when people say stuff like that to you? Don't you love when you go into a restaurant and they say, so how we do things here? It's like, no. I'm going to order an entree and you're going to bring it to me. Like, I hate when it's sharing stuff, little plates, and people do this and that. It's like, listen, man, I'm hungry. Bring me a plate of food. Let me eat it, you know? And then when you do stuff like you go to some ethnic food and you say, tell me how this works. And they go, well, you can do whatever you... I know I can do whatever I want. I know that. What, are you going to stop me? I know I can do it.
What, dude?
I could play with my food. I could pour salt and pepper in my cup. I could make a potion. I could pour creamer and salt and pepper flakes into my Diet Coke and make a potion. I know I could play with my food. I know I could do whatever I want. Tell me how you're supposed to eat it. They go, well, you can eat it however you want. Oh, thanks for that helpful advice. Thanks for telling me what I already knew. So yeah, that kind of stuff. It's just like homicidal rage. I'm going to start inscribing. I'm going to start inscribing small plates. Did they make a bullet big enough? I'm going to start inscribing spilled grease on shirt, bullshit, stupid gimmick, Asian cuisine. No, jokes. That's just a joke. That's just a joke, Cash. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. I'm walking back slowly. It's just a joke. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Dude, what? Why?
I'm kidding. It's just jokes, guys. FB.
I totally see why Destiny took him out for chicken and waffles, okay? Like, this guy gives off such awkward, like, kid energy. Like, he gives off, like, awkward nerd kid energy. Yeah. Oh, this. Oh, no. Oh, hey, it's Nicholas.
Oh, whoa! I did. You know that is.
Why? Why, dude? Was someone doing it to him back, or? Like,
it is Nick Fuentes. He pretended that it wasn't him.
I'm so confused. I don't. Okay. There was a food fight. People were throwing shit at him. Oh, that's understandable. Okay, I get it. Jesus. Wait. I'm getting distracted. Fuck you guys.
Who gives a shit about Mexican food? Sure, it tastes good, but every dish is the exact same thing. Everything is a taco, but they call it different things. It's bullshit. If I served a burger to you upside down, it's still a burger. Okay? It doesn't become a salad. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Someone else has had to have picked up on this as well, right?
Dude, I don't. Okay, nice, good meme. Okay.
And I tagged her and I said, "Hey, is this real?" I didn't get rather than respond to that, she insulted me. So I kept asking her, like, "Hey, is this real? Like, did you actually know of this?"
Sorry, back to Peach.
And yeah, we had a massive argument then. She didn't answer then. I spoke to her again recently, actually after the stream that you and I were on with her, and I asked her directly, right? Like, "Hey, is this real?" Right? Because I'm not like
Wait, is what real? Sorry, hold on.
I tagged her and I said, "Hey, is this real?" That she received videos that were recorded without consent. She received them from Destiny. Now, to me, that was shocking because I had no idea she had any connection to any of this stuff at all. So I went back into Wix server and I was asking about, like, "Hey, did you know this?" and I tagged her and I said, "Hey, is this real?" I didn't get rather than respond to that, she insulted me. So I kept asking her, like, "Hey, is this real? Like, did you actually know of this?" And yeah, we had a massive argument then. She didn't answer then. I spoke to her again recently, actually after the stream that you and I were on with her, and I asked her directly, right?
Why? That's such a weird thing to I mean, that's such a fucking weird thing to ask. What the fuck? I mean, does she owe you an answer of some kind? Like, or like, how persistent were you being? Like, what the fuck? Like, you want to ask someone about, like, the intimate sexual images that they receive in private or not? Really? you want to consistently and repeatedly ask them. I mean, isn't that like fucking sexual harassment, or don't you have a wife? Jesus.
Like, hey, is this real? Right? Because I'm not like a rabid hater, right? So on that stream that we're on, I didn't bring it up at all publicly, but privately asked her about it. Like after the stream was done, and we're sitting there with Prime and a couple other people.